Good morning. This is Kayla Naviker with Realty One Group Southwest. I just want to answer some questions. I'm getting a lot of calls from clients about what to do right now. These are kind of crazy times, and I just wanted to keep you up to date. Fortunately, California realtors have been put on the list of essential workers, and that does not mean we're at our office and going around meeting with people. We're still following the same guidelines that you are, but we're able to help our clients complete their transactions, sell their homes and buy their homes, and it is really important. There are a lot of people in need of that right now, but it definitely has brought about some changes in our industry, and I just wanted to share some of those with you. What's going on? So um, initially, the first thing is really no face-to-face contact. They want us to not to do everything online. And fortunately for us, we've been doing most of that already. So in the real estate industry over the last few years, most of the work we do has converted to an online process. So there are a few exceptions to that. I'll just kind of go through what they are. It's a pretty simple checklist. When we list your homes, um, number one, we're going to try to meet with you virtually initially to do your listing presentation or your initial meeting where we answer your questions and we get information from you. I'm going to want to see your home, so you can take me on a virtual tour with your phone. With the Zoom app, we can have a little meeting and you can show me around your house. We can do it on FaceTime. And I want to take a look at your home and give you some suggestions on what you can do to make it more marketable. And we can do all that virtually without having to do it in person. One of the things that we typically do before you list your home is stage it, and that can involve professional staging. It can also just involve some really simple changes. We can help you declutter, simplify the style of your decor, and the amount of decor that you have tends to be usually the biggest issue for sellers. You want to get rid of some of your stuff, but also one of the questions my clients are having is about photography. Do they still have a professional photographer come into their home? And really, that's up to you. We are allowed to do that if the seller is not present. So you would leave your home and the photographer would wear a mask and gloves. And I have a really amazing professional photographer that I love, and she would come in and just shoot your home and leave. And there is, obviously there's some risk with exposure to anybody. So if you don't want someone in your home, I just want to assure you that we can do this with your own photos, and I can coach you on how to best do that. So I can take your photos and I can edit them, or my photographer can edit them. We can even do virtual staging with your photos. Even if your home, and this is something a lot of people don't know, even if your home is currently furnished, we can virtually stage your home. My photographer can actually, with Photoshop, remove furniture and replace it. She can put in decor, things on the walls, to really beautify it and give it that model home feel. So we can still do that, and it's best done with professional photos because of the lighting and the clarity, and it can make a really big difference. But if you're not comfortable having a professional photographer in your home, then we definitely don't do it. We can use your photos. So that's kind of the initial thing. Then when we do list your home, we will put a yard sign in your home, but we will not be doing physical showings, and we will not put flyers in the box. We won't do that. But I have a lot of really great tools, and I want to tell you a little bit about those. The first one is a text code. So on my listing signs, and I've been doing this for quite a while, and it's a really great tool for me and for you. For number one reason, there's no flyers in the box to run out of. I don't have to keep coming over there and refilling it, and you don't have people stopping all the time. They literally can just drive by, and there's a little sign writer at the bottom that has a text code on it, and they can text that code to get instant information on your home. It'll give them photos, a video tour, the statistics, what all the square footage of your lot, the square footage of your home, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and give them all that information. And then it also allows me to contact them and follow up. And so it's a good tool that we always use anyway, and we're going to have that on your sign in place of flyers, and not have the flyers there. And then we will not put a lockbox on your house, because in this situation right now, with the restrictions that we have right now, you don't want anybody coming in and out of your home. And so we won't put a lockbox on the home. If anyone needs to enter your home, or wants to enter your home, you'd be contacted by me or one of the agents on our team, and uh, and that will be up to you whether you want them to come in or not. So when it comes to showing, okay, first of all, when you do your listing, we have a new set of disclosures that you're going to need to sign, specifically regarding, this has come out from the California Association of Realtors. It's it's just kind of making you aware of what the risks are, and then um, also kind of explaining what the changes are in what should and shouldn't happen with marketing your home. Some of the things I'm telling you about today. So that's one thing that will change. You have some additional disclosures to sign. Then all of the documents that you'll sign regarding your listing and anything that goes on from that process on will be signed online. When we have a client who is interested in your property, we're going to ask them for an offer. If they're interested, they're gonna call or message, and they'll get a video tour, a virtual tour of your property. We can hold virtual open houses where we can open it up for viewing of the video, and kind of have a live viewing of that video, and kind of help generate some interest in it, and also give us the contacts of people who are looking at it. We can do all that online, but it won't be done in person. And then if we have people who make an offer, so buyers who make an offer on your property, they're going to give us a written offer. They're going to give us their credit score, their lender's approval, and their proof of funds. And the reason we ask for all that is because before we go forward, and especially if anyone is going to enter your property, we want to make sure that they're not just looky-loos, right? You don't want to just have, I mean, no clients really, I know sellers really like that anyway. No one really likes everybody traipsing through their house unless it's serious buyers. So this has just kind of narrowed down that process. You're going to get exactly what you want because of this. You're not going to have all kinds of people coming through your home. So if someone is interested, they're going to submit their offer along with their approval, their proof of funds, and their credit score. And when we get that approval, it's not, I do not accept just a loan officer, especially the online lenders that you see, where they just send a letter saying this person is pre-approved for this amount or pre-qualified for this amount. I want to see an actual approval, and that's where the lender has input all of your criteria into a program called desktop underwriting, and they get an approval. And that approval is typically conditional. I mean, it's always conditional. It's a conditional on an appraisal, on a home inspection, and on termite clearance. I mean, those things are kind of standard, but I will expect to see that before we even ask if someone can see your home. So once you've reviewed that and you find that that offer is something that you would consider or want to negotiate with, at that point, if the buyer wants to see the property, I would contact you and schedule a time if you're comfortable allowing them to do that. You would not be present, just I or one of my team would be there to open the property for this buyer to come in and look, and then only the buyer who will be on title will be entering the property. There will be no children allowed, no friends, no family members, just the person who's going to be on title will be going in to view the property. And we're going to ask you as the seller to turn all the lights on, open up all the doors, open up the windows, so that when that buyer comes in, and we're going to specifically kind of coach the buyers, our clients, and what they're allowed to do. They're not allowed to touch anything. They're going to walk through your home. I would stay 6 feet away from them, and they're not allowed to touch anything as they go through. I, as your agent, and that buyer are going to wear a mask, they're going to wear gloves, and they're going to spend a brief amount of time in your home, and then they're going to leave, and I will lock it up when we leave. And that's kind of how we'll do showings, if we do showings at all. And I would assume that there are going to be properties that are going to close without any showings. They're going to be done by video, and so that's where we're at with that one. Then when it comes to Home inspections. That's kind of a new one for us too, because that is sort of the one vendor or the one service provider that we would kind of always have go in the home. And um, and we are having properties closed now without those inspections based on, so there are two documents the seller fills out in situations where you may or may not have a home inspection. Those are the transfer disclosure statement and the seller property questionnaire, where they're going to give every detail about that property that they're aware of. And granted, there always may be things that the seller might not be aware of, but it's a fairly good protection to have that information that the seller has disclosed, and they will be thorough in those disclosures, and we'll make sure of that. But so that's an optional thing too. A lot of the conventional loans, appraisal or termite clearance is not required. FHA it is, but right now there some of the FHA programs are really changing too, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, and we'll have to just kind of keep tabs on that. But when it comes to closings, our escrow company used to mail out packages. I think at this point everything's going to be done electronically. There won't be any physical handling of any of the documents. So you'll be getting all of your escrow documents electronically. California is working on approval for online notary services. So you may be able to virtually sign your title transfer, but for now, that notary service is, as far as, at least, I mean, every day we're getting new updates, but as far as I know, you would be signing your title transfer with a notary, but ours is actually allowing you to do a drive up service right now, so you don't have to even enter a building. So those are some of the changes that are going on right now. Just be aware if you're a buyer and you're already in a listing with an agent. Um, you have a lot of rights right now, and if you're a buyer or you're a seller, you need to protect yourself and your family. And do not, if you're a seller and you have an agent who's telling you they have to bring people through, they don't. You can just say no. And if you want to extend your listing until this, give this a little bit more time and not have anyone in your home, you're welcome to do that. You can also allow your agent to market your property without showings and without anyone entering your home. And you have the right to say no. And if you're a buyer, I would work with agents who are really doing a good job of marketing online, not doing the personal showings, because that it'll help this whole process. We want this to pass quickly, and if we can all be really responsible about staying home and really do it. So I am concerned about my family. I'm concerned about all of the healthcare workers who have to be working right now, all of our police who have to be working, all our firefighters and our school teachers who are teaching our children and working so hard to do that online. I want to be a responsible citizen, and I hope that we can all, do our part to do that. And if you have to sell or buy a home and you have questions, I'm happy to help you where I can. Even if I'm not your listing agent, your agent, I've been in this business since 2005, and I am happy to answer any questions that you have. We are getting new updates constantly from the state, from our brokerage, just about changes in how to do business in this market. So we want to make sure that we take care of you in every way we can. Have a great day. Stay safe. You can contact me at 951-375-6373 or at nebekerproperties@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook at Kayla Nebeker Realtor. And talk to you soon.